what's that show? Just kidding.
What's that show? We decided that because we love it so much, it's our favorite show on television as a group, that we would take
We would like to get severed.
every week. Yes. And we are going to sever our brains into talking about Severance into weekly discussion. And so Severance Season 2, Episode 1 dropped this week.
Wow.
Let's start with Brian's thoughts on Season 2, Episode 1, Severance.
I know Abby's dying to make a joke right now, but I'm just gonna skip right over that.
My mouth shut.
Brian's like, all hail Kier.
That's all I have to say.
I mean, overall, it was a good episode. They did exactly what I thought they would, in that they basically told you nothing.
Yes.
And left us wanting more.
They told you absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I knew they would, because that's their MO. Mm-hmm. But they told you just enough to think, what's going on?
Because one
I
of the
know.
things I was hoping they wouldn't do, one of the things that I think Only Murders in the Building has made a mistake of, is they've gotten out of the Arconia too much.
Sure.
The
Yeah,
first
I
season
agree.
of Only Murders in the Building, the cool thing was that they were like the building, just like Gotham,
Was
the
a character.
Arconia was a character.
Yeah.
And in Severance Season 2, with them, with their innies being out, my fear was that they would kind of get out of Lumen.
Mm-hmm.
And like to me, the show needs to take place in Lumen
Yeah.
for it to be
Lumen
good.
is
Yeah.
one of the characters.
Yeah, literally in the
Yeah.
episode, the building is one of the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I did listen to, for those of you that are interested, after you watch this podcast and after you like this podcast, after you subscribe to this podcast, after you tell 5 friends about this podcast and see if those 5 friends will tell 5 friends, you should check out, Severance has their own podcast. They're doing like a podcast for each episode, and the special guest, it's hosted by Adam Scott and Ben Stiller. The special guest was the guy who's now in charge. I can't remember his name in the show.
Milchick.
Yeah, Milchek was the
Okay.
guest. But they were talking about that sequence. By the way, spoilers. So if you haven't watched the episode,
Yeah, if you haven't watched Severance at all, maybe don't listen to this
That's
because
on you.
we're already talking
but I
about
did love, they were
season
talking
2.
about when they showed that movie of their story, that he based that off of like they based that off of like the Christmas style like claymations.
I loved
Because
it.
it was
Yeah.
like a claymation.
Yeah, I thought it was genius.
I thought
Yeah.
it was
It
brilliant.
was genius.
Yeah, I'm glad they stayed there. I am interested to see what's happening with his wife. There was, at the end, if you'll notice, and I think I saved it.
Yeah, the picture of her.
Yes.
That was very
They just
interesting.
flashed it.
With all the like analytics over top of it.
Yeah.
That made me think something interesting. I also feel like while you're trying to find that,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm a little bit nervous because season 1, as much as it was kind of like us learning a lot about it, it was also very like, we're going to set this up for season 2. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm a little bit nervous they're going to like go a little American Horror Story with it.
What do you
Like
mean
I'm-
by that?
Like
I don't
I'm
think
nervous
so.
they're going to take something that could be like more about like the company and analytics and make it real freaking creepy. Because
Okay.
cuz prior to season 2, the big main kind of like shock was that this was low key maybe a cult
Sure.
and all these people were like had shrines and were like worshiping this person.
Yeah.
And so if it wasn't for that twist, I would have maybe thought that it was going to stick within the realm of like maybe just, I don't know, controlling workers, controlling people or something like that. But now that they've added this layer of like creepy waffle party in the house, people with masks.
Yeah.
Like they've kind of added like this like with zero context, completely out of left field. It just makes me fearful that they're going to make it like, it's going to turn into like a horror show real fast.
Yeah.
Like it's going to get
Well,
weird.
you know what's interesting? I didn't catch this, but the 4 people that were like the characters at the waffle party, they represented the 4 temperaments.
They did, yeah.
So they were dressed up to represent malice, dread, frolic, and what's the 4th one?
Fright.
No.
No.
Either way, I don't know. Because I sent you guys a trailer this morning, and in one of the trailers, it's like this weird looking like housemaid woman. And she's like, I told you not to come back here.
That can't be any weirder than seeing the goats being fed by bottle in season 1.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they've added splashes of stuff that's making it a little bit like American Horror. I've never seen American Horror Story.
I don't think so.
But I've just heard it's weird.
I don't think they're going to turn on their audience. That would be kind of turning on your audience.
Woe.
Anyway.
Woe was the fourth one.
Whoa.
Woe, Frolic, Dread, and Malice.
Anyway, I was trying to find that picture, and it's gone now, of Miss Casey. And there's that file name. I can never remember the file name, but it's like her face, and you see a file name next to her. And he sees it, and his brain goes like, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah. I don't remember the file name.
And so
though.
that is kind of how the episode ended. And so obviously she's gone, and the wellness check is gone. Remember, there's where the room was. There's now a wall.
Yeah. Right.
Which was weird.
Which was very weird. Yeah, I know. And they introduced that one character who's from Game of Thrones. The girl in there is from Game of Thrones. In that
The young
commercial.
one? Oh.
She was the tall knight.
It's this one. Is that one?
That's it. Yes.
Yeah, and it says
it's
Cold Harbor.
Cold Harbor. So that's something to remember. Even Ben Stiller brings that up. Like, you see this and it says Cold Harbor.
Okay.
And it's like you said, it must be that's what they're doing. They must be getting rid of their...
Should I talk about that?
Yeah, I do. I think it's
Should I bring it up?
Sure.
Okay.
Because see, all of her things are like the boxes on the computers. See what I mean?
Abby,
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Yeah. They're exactly like the boxes that they...
There's a fifth one, though.
But that just could be like that could be like a final analysis or something.
But in each box, so the boxes individually don't represent the 4 tempers. Each box has the 4 tempers within it. So if you
Did you notice that?
I googled like screenshots of their computer when they're working. So like when they're collecting numbers and they put it into box number 3, within box 3 there's the 4 tempers, and each one of them have like a percentage within each box.
And that's what I'm saying.
I wonder if they're doing...
I'm wondering if they're making them emotionless.
I don't think that.
Or be able to control their emotional capacities.
I think everything is about trying to bring Kier back to life. I think they're going for the whole wall.
See, because the top says
I think they're going for the whole
68%.
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I think they're going for the whole Walt Disney. He's frozen. He's probably in that house where the waffle party was.
I don't think. I think they're trying to figure out how to make a society of people who they can control. I think that they're trying to figure out how to make a mass quantity of people.
I think if they can clone people, then they'll do that. But I think the original purpose, they want to clone people to make their own people for sure. But I think the real reason they want to do that first is to bring Kier back. I think it's a real cult.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a real...
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because it also feels like a government, like a secret, like government agency.
It does. It
See,
feels,
I
there's
think,
so much there.
I think like they're running the government.
I don't know.
Like, I think they're probably the biggest, like, weapons contract, energy contract. Because one of the things we've got to figure out is who's on the board. Who's through that little speaker?
Yeah. Are there actually people on the other side of that?
Yes. And what are they doing? Who are they?
Right.
Is it the president? Is it...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible that there isn't actually anybody on the other end of that.
Exactly.
And that's just a thing that they put up and they
Yeah.
said, yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, because I think so. What the guy was saying was in the video was that when they're doing their little computer work, what they're doing is they're trying to map human genetics, basically. And so what they're doing is they're making people emotionless so that when they see emotions,
They're trying to find a better photo.
so that when they see, you know what I'm wondering too? What are the 4 ones again?
Woe, Dread, Malice, and Frolic.
I'm wondering, since there's other departments, and since, listen to this now,
I'm
quit
listening.
looking. I'm wondering if since they're doing this,
Yeah.
he keeps saying that you're looking for scary numbers, if their department's only doing dread.
Yeah, it could be.
And like
remember
the
that the
other
characters-
departments may be looking for like happy numbers.
Remember the characters in the very beginning of the first episode talk about how they were working in a different department prior
Yes.
to this,
Yeah.
and they all seemed a lot happier
It did.
than the ones in this. You know what I mean? In that
But
department.
but that's why. But they're severing them so that they can't have emotion. They don't have emotion. So that way, when they see emotions through the numbers, they feel that emotion. It's raw.
Still, though, they would still have to explain how you can see emotion through numbers. Like, that's still a big part of it. That's like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, how have you created a computer system that's seeing emotions through numbers?
We're gonna do our own
Unless the severed-
waffle party here.
Because that could be it too. The severance could also rewire their brain to see emotion through like calculations as opposed to feeling.
That's a possibility.
And maybe that's why they're able to see numbers with emotion.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's very strange because he says that. Remember in season 1, he's like, you kind of look for like the numbers, like scary numbers.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't really get it. And he's like, you will.
Yeah.
And he does. And I also don't like that the redhead lied. I'm a little bit, I don't know what's happening
There's
there.
a lot of intrigue around that.
There
There
is.
is a lot.
Because there's a lot of mystery as to why she
Because
didn't tell
I think it's
them.
her Audi.
Yeah.
I think once that happened, her dad, who obviously is the CEO, was like, we've got to figure out what's going on down there. So we're going to send you back in as your innie. But as your Audi, obviously that little movie that they watched showed that they were recording everything that they were doing. They knew they were going in the storage closet. They knew that they kissed. They knew all that. So I'm guessing her Audi went back and watched all the footage to remember kind of who her innie was in there. And then was sent in as the Audi to get more information on what they know.
But if you've had this, would it be possible for her Audi to go in that building? Because she's got the severance thing.
They maybe took it out.
I'm sure, yeah. They either took the thing out or
My thought
I don't know.
process,
I think it's the innie, and I think that
think she's
that-
just scared.
I don't know that it's that she's scared. I think that maybe we're gonna find that she's got like she knows more.
that's what I think.
I think she knows even more, and she's maybe not ready to bring everybody in.
Yeah, I think
what's
that
going
I
on.
think that her innie saw that she was like the CEO or whatever, or she was a big part of the company, and I think she's scared to tell everybody as an innie that like this is what she's doing because she actually doesn't know what all she has her hands in with it. And so I think she's trying to, while also trying to help them with what they're navigating, I think she's going to go on a separate storyline of trying to figure out what it is she does for the company while they're figuring out. And I think that in itself might give us more of her backstory into like how she started the company with her, like became a part of it.
Yeah, it could be. Because even like when she was talking to Mark S. towards the end, and they were kind of having this conversation of like, what does this mean for us? Because like obviously, like your Audi's wife is alive. She's like, what does that mean for you? And and she was basically trying to tell him. She said something to the effect of like we and our Audis are not the same people. Like we're
So
not.
you can
We're
have an
totally
innie wife
different.
and an Audi wife, basically.
Basically, is what she was getting at. Was
Yeah.
like who you are. As
Did
an
you
Audi.
notice? Did you notice in the video one of the new perks was?
What?
No.
Ultimate hall passes.
What's that?
I didn't catch that at all.
Like so they could like go away and I think like do stuff.
I didn't catch that.
Oh, wow. I did
it's
not
in
know
there.
that.
Really?
I think
That's
it was
weird.
like a wink to them, like you guys go do whatever you want. We'll have a space for you.
That's crazy.
I wonder if Lumen is going to start encouraging
Procreation.
like
Severed babies.
or just like romantic relationships to take place within there to try to keep them further separated from their Audis.
Yeah, it might be.
Maybe.
Does that make sense?
Because they might feel like the more emotionally invested they are in working there, they're less likely to disturb
like they
it.
keep their
Yeah.
inner baby, like their innies babies. You can't see them until you're down there.
That would be, I don't even know even what.
What?
Like, I don't even know even how you'd even do that. Then you have to create a whole society of people.
Yeah, you have to create like a nighttime daycare.
Well, and imagine too if your innie gets pregnant.
They've already got goats.
Yeah, you have to be with your Audi pregnant.
As once you become an Audi, you're pregnant. You don't even know like how or with who?
Whoa,
Or,
Yeah, that's
true,
what I was
too.
thinking.
What if they make you stay any for 9 months?
I don't know.
Or like under like a project, something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
What
know.
if I'm the head of Lemon Industries? We are working on getting a carved Kier statue for the middle of this table that we have right here.
We're gonna have a shrine in Abby's house?
A shrine in Abby's house. I do think it's a cult, though. If you look at Mrs. The white hair,
Cobell.
Miss Cobell. Brian always has the names.
I know I was thinking about that.
You're a name guy.
You're a
good with
character name
names.
guy. Like I would
It's
know.
probably because you've been severed multiple times. But if you remember in season 1, Miss Cobell does have a shrine to Kier in her house.
Yeah.
So I don't think like the whole, because when I first started watching it, I thought this whole Kier thing is just to keep people obsessive about working there. Like none of that to me was real.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was just a way to keep people, like religion or whatever, keeps people in.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, the more I actually think like it is a real cult-like industry business.
Sure.
I just
You know,
want
because
them to
people could say that.
explain-
Honestly, people could say that about Disney adults. I think like I think they've pulled from Disney some. Like I think people could be seen as like worshiping Walt Disney and what he's built and the things he's done for society and the movies and the films and the
Sure.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a
I
lot.
think they could pull from kind of something like that and say like, hey, like this guy's, you know, like in a dream world, Walt Disney is frozen and they find a way to bring him, you know, like in my dream world. But no, but I'm wondering if like I really think the focus is to bring Kier back. Like there's gonna be, I'm telling you. Mark it.
Kier's
Mark
coming
this
back.
episode. I think it's episode 8.
I think so.
Mark episode 8. He is somewhere frozen or something in that house where they're having waffle parties. I'm telling you.
I will
His
say,
body's in
I
there.
need them to
His
explain
body.
the whole masks and everything.
That he just did. I think it's meant to.
You mean
it's-
from the waffle party?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the 4 things.
So they're dressed up as the 4. So one
you
is
kept
dressed
looking
up
at your
as-
picture. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. One of them is dressed up as Woe. Another one
Frolic.
is Frolic. Dread,
And so they're like
Malice.
dancing as like the pieces that make up a person.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
And guess what? Brian's dressing up as all 4 next week.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, stay tuned for episode 2.
What a long, strange year it's been. I can't wait for it. Honestly, this might be the best. This might be the best show as far as it doesn't take me very long to get what's going on normally.
But with this show,
I don't have a clue.
I really
have
wish they would
guesses.
do
I
stuff
don't
like
have a clue.
Netflix and just come out with the whole season.
No, I like it being episodic.
I don't.
I think shows being episodic because we'd be done. I'd have watched it. I'd be done.
yeah.
I know, but
And
we
then-
had a whole series to talk about.
I know, but like then it's just a week.
I know.
It's like Stranger Things. Remember the last season of Stranger
the best week
Things?
of my life.
We blacked out our house and watched the whole season in a day, and
Yeah.
it's great. But you're just like, now what do I watch?
I don't know. I had a good time. I love
I'm
it.
excited about episode 2. I'm hoping I think they're really going to start getting into some juice. I don't think it's going to take very long. I also think
I don't like that they're going to be
I have a
getting
sneaky
juice.
suspicion. There's a scene in the trailer where they're on top of a snowy mountain, all with snow clothes on. I think that happens in Lumen. I think that's something inside
Maybe
the
like
building.
Monsters Inc. They open a door. It's like
Seriously, I think there's something in there.
there's
Yeah.
a Yeti.
I don't know if it's like augmented reality or something, but it's in there. I don't think that's outside. I don't think they're going to like Russia.
I don't know. I'm wondering if they're going to find a way for their Audis to get together.
I'm
Well, they
wondering-
made the newspaper, remember?
Yeah.
In the real world.
Yeah. They're like, they kept saying, like, you guys are internationally famous.
Yeah.
I want it to be something none of us suspect.
I would love that.
Like I would love to get to
But
the
I also
end of
don't
it and
want
be
it
like,
to be
we're all
dumb.
wrong.
I don't want them. I don't want the fact that I don't want the whole them doing all the work on the computers to have meant nothing.
I don't think it means nothing.
I don't think it means nothing.
I know, but I hope it's not like we were doing a human experiment to see how people without emotions would interact, and so we did this fake work to keep you guys busy to see how you process. Like I hope
No,
it's not like
I think
that.
it's. I think they wouldn't have put her
I hope there's
picture.
real data being done.
Yeah, I don't think they would have put her picture with analytics if that wasn't the case. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that with the 5 boxes.
Yeah, there's just too many other
That
things
intrigues me
for
a
it to
lot.
be- for it
And
to
why
be
is there
nothing.
5, not 4?
Yeah, why is there 5?
There's only 4 boxes on their computers.
And like just the mystery of the fact that she's alive and worked at Lumen.
Yes.
Like there has to be so much there.
Well, also, let's talk about the fact, like you just said, she's alive working in Lumen, but her Audi's dead.
Unless.
Like she's dead in the Audi world.
Unless I've done it again.
I hope he's wrong, guys.
What if Lumen purchased or exhumed, I guess is the right word, her body, and Miss Casey was their first trial at a clone?
Oh, and maybe that's why they have the file on there.
Maybe all the files are cadavers. You know, like the Culpepper file.
I don't like that.
And so maybe his wife, maybe sadly he's going to find out his wife is dead and Miss Casey is their first attempt at a clone.
And maybe that's why they don't want him going deeper into the office, because somewhere in the office is just a bunch of stored dead bodies.
A bunch of stored cadavers.
So that's super interesting. While you were saying that, I had another idea. What if we find out that she faked her death and went to work for Lumen? And what if we find out that there's more to Mark S? What if she faked her death to get away from him because he's some kind of monster?
Wow.
And so she fakes her death and she goes to work at Lumen. She's basically saying I'll come work for you. Will you just almost as a witness protection? Will you just keep me safe? I'll work for you.
Interesting.
And then he goes into this depressive state where he says, well, I don't want to live anymore without her, so I'm going to go work at Lumen.
Because I'm wondering, because here's my thing. The goats have to be some type of like there must be something in goat genetics that can help them understand cloning. And that's why they have all those baby goats.
That or they can just live off goat milk. These new clones just drink
waffles are made way better when you mix them with goat milk. No, but I'm wondering if they're if it's gonna be oh, my wife's alive, I've got to find her, and it's no, dude, that was never your wife. That's a clone.
Yeah.
And what we do is when people die in this town, we exhume all of the cadavers because we basically own this town, and we keep them and their last name in a file, and they're the people that were initially trying to do this. So that way, when we get it right, then we can really clone and bring back Keir back to life. And because once they clone him once, he'll never die. They can always bring him back.
Yeah.
And then once he's cloned, they can start cloning more people and they can start their own society. It's basically Scientology.
Yeah. I love that theory.
That would be awesome.
I love that theory.
Yeah. I think that would be pretty sick.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I'll be a little disappointed if we got it after one episode, but
right.
But that'll be sick. There must be a mass amount of pressure to get this right, dude. I would not write on this show.
Not if you've already written it.
They're just now getting into Ben Stiller said they're just now mapping season 3.
Oh God.
See, that's
I
crazy to
that.
me that you wouldn't map out the entire arc.
Well, you
that's
must be
me.
worried you're going to get canceled.
Maybe.
It's a lot of work.
But how do you have half of a storyline?
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if they start with the same mystery we do and then they're figuring it out.
Well, and that makes me nervous that we're going to have another Lost situation.
Oh, God.
Where it just goes on and on. It's nobody...
And then he literally wakes up and it's all been a dream. his wife's not even dead.
Oh, my God.
And she's like, what's wrong? And he's like, I have an idea. And it's him deciding to come up with Lumen.
He's like, call me Keir.
Or what if she wakes him up and she's like, Keir, what is it? And he's like, come. Okay, we're almost at 2 hours.
Okay.
So
That's a lot,
This was a great one, though. We're going to go over every episode every week. So here's what we need you to do. The Book of Keir says to have 10 people that you know watch this podcast and subscribe. Help us grow. Help us become as big as Lumen.
Comment. Also, there's a little bell up top. You can click that little bell, and every time we post, it'll notify you.
It'll literally
So
send
that
a
way
notification
you don't have to sit
your
on
phone.
YouTube refreshing your page, waiting anxiously for a new post.
So awesome. Well, great. All hail Keir.
Nope.
I think, you know what I think we should do? I think
Guys, maybe next week we'll have a waffle party.
No, but I think for episode 10, we should
do a meet and greet waffle party.
No, but I think we should discuss the final episode. We should eat some waffles. We should maybe do a little dress up or a little theme thing, and we'll end season 2 like that.
I have a character in mind.
Eat some waffles. You're gonna be Bert.
And you don't even have to dress up.
Anyway. Okay. All hail here. See you.
Nope.